Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode on No, but seriously, let me explain. Hosted by the beautiful, intelligent Earth Angel Lala Davi. This podcast was designed to provide detailed business advice, next level resources, personal credit tips, and relatable relationship knowledge. Be sure to bookmark this page and subscribe because we wouldn't want you to miss any valuable content. And if you're struggling with poor credit, don't even worry about it. Just text Help My Credit to 507-400-3426. That's 507-400-3426. We have live agents standing by to cater to all your service requests. And now that that's out the way, let's make room for what the host has to say. Lala Davi, do your thing, girl.
Welcome to No, but seriously, let me explain. This phenomenal podcast series that will keep you fully engaged with all the tips and tricks you need to be successful while providing you plenty of flavor. I am your host, Lala Davi, and today we will discuss love mastery. Are you familiar with all the many facets of love itself? No, but seriously, let me explain. Have you ever felt as if you've been dating the wrong guys or feeling as if you're trapped in this platonic relationship cycle? Love takes many forms, from the deep bonds of platonic relationships to the more intimate connections with monogamous partnerships. It is a force that really drives us to care for others and to really support them through thick and thin. And we also cherish these partners through the time that we spend together, whether it's love between friends, family members, or romantic partners. It's really a fundamental part of what makes us all human. Now, let me just go ahead and shed some light real quick. I want to talk about Brittany for a second. Brittany, she had always dreamed of being married and starting a family. She had been dating this guy, her friend Tyler, for a while, but they were never really exclusive. Brittany, she really wanted more from Tyler, but Tyler, he was just really content. He was content with having this friends with benefits situation. Despite her frustration, Brittany, she really refused to settle for less than what she really wanted. She started to focus on herself and adding to her own happiness. She took up new hobbies. She started spending time with her friends, and she eventually started traveling. Even if she was traveling solo, she was getting out more. She grew this big level of confidence and started to fulfill herself with things that made her feel good. She began to attract positive energy and opportunities in her life. Then one day, while she was out with some friends, having some drinks, she met this dude named Michael. They hit it off immediately and began to date exclusively. Now, Michael was everything that Brittany had ever wanted in a partner. He was very kind, he was very supportive, and very committed to their relationship. She knew that this was the type of man that she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. But Brittany, she just continued to prioritize her own happiness, doing everything that she was already doing, even as if Michael was there in the picture. She had built a life with Michael. She still continued to do these things, even with him there. She made sure she took time for herself and her own interests while also nurturing her relationship with Michael. Together, they really shared new experiences. They supported each other's goals, and they really grew as individuals and as a couple, I must say. And to this day, Brittany is happily married to Michael. And they have started their own family now. And it's a really beautiful situation because she knew the key to attracting and keeping her soulmate was to focus on her own happiness and never really settling for less than what she deserved. And to me, that's just a beautiful thing. If you're one of my lovely listeners out there that is just unsure what a friends with benefits situation is, then allow me a cute second to just break that down for you. Okay, I got you. I understand that some just might not fully know what a FWB look like, so let me explain that to you. Friends with benefits situation is the type of relationship in which two people, engage in this sexual activity without being in a committed relationship. Okay. While this type of arrangement might seem appealing at first to some, it can definitely lead to complications and heartache. I know situations like this, it may be beneficial for one person. And then in many cases, these friends with benefits arrangements only really benefit that one person in the relationship. And with this often is because one person has stronger feelings than the other person, while the other person may only be interested in the sexual aspect of that relationship. And this could really just lead to someone having feelings of being used or feeling hurt in a sense, while the other person is just able to move on without any emotional attachment. If you find yourself in this situation, you have to be prepared for the possibility that the relationship just might not work out. If things start to feel too complicated or you just get emotionally drained, it might be time to end that arrangement and focus on preserving your friendship. If you just want to have a friendship, then that might be the thing to do. And I do highly suggest taking things that you really love doing and incorporating them in the process of your healing time, because it will speed up healing if you find yourself in a friends with benefits situation. I know that these type of situations can be draining, and a lot of the times we like to cater to certain individuals in the hopes of them changing their outcomes about the arrangement, potentially advancing that connection more so into a romantic, monogamous connection versus having this platonic and casual situationship. So you want to do things that's going to attract your soulmate in a sense. And when you're really looking, or I won't say looking, but in the hopes of attracting this type of soulmate, it can be a real serious task, but it really don't have to be. You can do things by prioritizing your self-love, kind of like how Brittany did. Like, she did things that made her happy and continuously kept that same energy. When you're loving and accepting yourself, it's the first step towards attracting the right person into your life. Like, you radiate confidence and positivity. And this can be seen when other people just naturally come in your presence or come around you. Like, other people will naturally be drawn to you. So don't compromise your values or beliefs with anyone else. You need to focus on your own desires. And then set your intentions clear. And this can be something that is powerful within itself. When you're setting your own intentions, it's a powerful tool for manifesting your own desires. Take time to think about what you want in a partner and in a relationship. Write down the ideal qualities that you would want in a man. And then visualize yourself in a happy, loving relationship with that man. This can help you to attract the right person in your life. And just go ahead and start taking action steps towards that. Taking action is definitely essential when it comes to manifesting the desires. You just can't really sit back and wait for things to happen. You must be actively working towards your goals. Like that movie, Whoa, there was this quote that always stuck with me. She was like, are you the type that sit back and wait for things to happen? Or are you the type that make things happen? Well, I'm definitely the type that's going to get up and make some things happen. Like, I'm not going to go out and just get a man. Like, no, I'm going to naturally allow that to happen in my life by doing things that make me feel good and continuously running a successful business, writing books of quality that others can utilize that are valuable, promoting good quality content on a podcast that my listeners can take heed and take some value out of. Like, these are all things that I find value in. And anyone that connects with me, like my man, he definitely loves and supports everything that I do. So yes, I'm definitely moving in steps and in ways that fulfill me naturally. And yes, I cater to my relationship. I'm sure you guys heard my previous podcast where I spoke on this topic before, but maintaining a healthy relationship and a happy relationship definitely takes effort from both partners. So let me just give you a little quick breakdown of what I believe will keep the relationship alive in a sense. Like, I always speak on communication a lot because, yes, communication is key. Open and honest communication is essential for any successful relationship. Like, you need to be able to listen to your partner and express your own thoughts and feelings in a respectful manner, of course. And then regularly check in with each other just to make sure that you're both on the same page. Like, that's important. Like, sometimes you might get off a page, like you might be a couple steps ahead and they might not just be there yet. Like, it's important to have these discussions, and it shouldn't be uncomfortable, or the uncomfortable conversations is what's important as well. Like, don't let any conversation go unsaid, especially if it's uncomfortable. And then you must keep the intimacy alive. Like, why not? Intimacy is everything. Physical intimacy is important, especially in any romantic relationship. Like, you definitely need to make time and prioritize each other's intimacy, experience with new things, and just be open to trying new experiences together. Like, having that spontaneous background is going to be ideal when you're trying to keep your romantic relationship alive. Like, spontaneity can definitely keep a romantic relationship feeling fresh and exciting. Like, surprise your partner or spouse with a special date night or a weekend getaway. Be adventurous as possible with trying new things. Like, these are all things that are important. And just don't do things around locally. Do things around the way and just keep things alive and have fun together. Laugh, play, enjoy each other's company. Take time to do things that you both enjoy. Whether it's watching a movie or playing a game, having game nights. That's I love game nights. That's something else. But incorporate going for a walk and just having a talk, whatever. Planning a day out, put out a nice little blanket and just enjoy each other. Remember, relationships take work, but they can also be incredibly rewarding. By prioritizing your communication, intimacy, spontaneity, appreciation, and fun, you can really keep that spark alive in your relationship and build a strong, lasting partnership. We are thrilled to welcome a very special guest to our podcast today. King Dre is a self-improvement coach for men with several years of experience helping men properly navigate dating and relationship outcomes. He has a popular podcast platform, the Captain Save a Bro Show. It is live with questions and answers every Tuesday, with a new podcast episode released every Friday. We are excited to hear his inside secrets on everything under the love and mastery topic, and just take advantage of all the tips that he really has for us today. Let's jump straight into this discussion with him. Thanks for joining us, King Dre. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started in this industry.
Well, I'm just a regular guy from Florida, regular guy from the streets, actually. I cleaned my life up about 10, 11, 12 years ago. Walked away from all the foolery and decided to do something with my life. Within those 10 years, a lot of bumps, a lot of bruises, a lot of ups and downs, but I stumbled across helping men be better in their situations and not be taken advantage of. Before I got into this, right before I got into it, there was this guy going through something that I know, and I felt extremely bad for him. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write a book. And so I started writing the book, and I was like, well, how am I gonna sell the book? And I thought to myself, well, the only way to sell the book is to have a social media presence. And then so I started making YouTube videos. From the YouTube videos, I started doing Instagram and social media and TikTok and stuff like that. And here we are today.
Speaking on one-sided benefits, how can one-sided benefits affect the quality of a relationship?
Well, if it's no balance, then the relationship is exploitive. So if there's only one person receiving, it'll work temporarily, right? Let's say if there's the woman let's say if you have a woman and let's just say a gold digger, and she just wants to be cared for financially, but she doesn't reciprocate in the way that man receives it, right? It may work in the beginning at first, but eventually that man is going to start feeling like he's getting the short end of the stick, and then after a while, then resentment come in and all that stuff. And the same, like if it was a woman, let's say if it was a woman who got a guy, didn't want to be committed, or he wanted to keep playing the field, and she keep pouring and pouring and pouring, and he's not giving her back what she needs in the way that she receives it. Eventually, the relationship to her will feel exploitive, and then resentment sets in, and then it just goes down from there. So it one-sided benefits will definitely 100% affect the quality of a relationship negatively.
And what are some ways you can avoid falling into a one-sided beneficial relationship?
You don't get with people. Number one, I think a lot of people, they choose people based on potential. Number one, they pick people based on potential or their idea of what that person can be. And the person may not even be qualified to pour into them. So like you see a lot of time with women, they'll get with these dudes who can't really pour into them like that. These guys don't even have themselves together. They may get sexual gratification, but you may be a woman who want to travel or who want to explore the town or you may be looking for a little bit more comfort and financial stability. But you go to this guy's house, he's cute, he's sexy, he got game, he got sex appeal, he can hit it good, but his mattress on the floor. He can't even give to himself. So he can't give to you. And on the other foot, you got guys who maybe want something stable, or they maybe want something like stable or long-term or family, but they get with a woman who's a stripper. Like, she doesn't have it in her to give you what you need. And so the key to that is making sure people, before you pour yourself into a person, make sure they have it in them, make sure they have the capacity, make sure and if they do have the capacity, make sure they want to pour it to you.
Well, you see a lot of people that definitely put on a mask and wear a really nice coat to portray this image that you want and end up being the total opposite. You may be looking for this loving, romantic, committed, monogamous relationship. And he may just want the box, okay? And he'll put on this image to portray himself as if he wants the same thing just to get to the box, because women are what? The gatekeepers to the box, and the men, they hold the key to the relationships. Okay. So in a trade-off session, in this case, this female, she may be willing to open up the box a little bit if he's willing to go the distance. And in the process of trying to go the distance, he falls short because he never wanted to go the distance in the first place.
Right. And not to say that I disagree with you, but I think if we pay attention more to what's going on, like if you have a man, if you're a woman, right, and there's a man and you want a little bit more commitment from him, you have to look at his lifestyle. Like I said, you would go into his house, like if you want a man who was financially set, you would go into his house and look and see if he got his bed on the floor, if he got his dishes set mat, his dinette set match, he got tables and furniture, and the quality of this stuff. You would look at that. So if you want a man who, is more committed, you should look at his lifestyle. Guys who are always in the brunches, in the going out to parties, going out to clubs, these types of guys, they are men. I don't know about women, but men only go to these places for women. Period. Don't let nobody tell you any different. So you have to pay attention to the lifestyle. And if you don't see that, I don't think that means that they put on a fake or a facade. It's just that you have to be more mindful of what you're looking for. Now, guys may lie out of their mouth. I get that part. But again, if you pay attention to a person's lifestyle and the way that they live in, it'll tell you everything that you need to know about them. What are the things that they care about? How do they dress? What do they spend their time doing? Where do they spend their time at? Where did you meet them? So a lot of people meet people in parties and clubs and think that a woman may meet a guy at a party or a club and think that he's just there just to meet her. No. So you met him in a phase of his life where that's what he's on. And him meeting you is not going to change that. He got to be there on his own. You understand? So I'm not saying that people can't try to fake the facade or put on a mask and shit, put on a mask, but if you're paying attention, you can pretty much, people reveal who they are. Most guys who don't, like, to give you an example, a lot of guys who deal with a lot of different women, a lot of those guys don't have anything going outside of them going to work, or they don't have anything going on with their lives. And a lot of guys who don't have anything going on with their lives, they feel that void with women. You understand? So it's just looking at different things and rising above your emotions, rising above the feel good, rising above the emotional chemistry to see what it really is.
And what are some emotional consequences of being in a one-sided beneficial relationship?
Stress, which is, I don't want to say blanket, but the stress is the main umbrella. But you have not feeling good enough, anxiety, depression, feeling exploited, feeling used, resentment, anger, guilt, shame. There's so many emotional consequences that come from subjecting yourself to that.
And how can you communicate with your partner to ensure that your relationship is beneficial mutually?
That's not something that's communicable, because like I said, you can talk to a person all you want to, but if they don't have it to give you, or if they don't want to give you, you're not going to get it. So the key is to find people who are on the same page as you. Find people who are willing to give just the way that you would to give, and stop going into situations trying to change people, or stop going into situations trying to make people who they are not, men and women. You understand? Now, you can, of course, you want to communicate things like the best ways to receive love, and the things that's important to you, and how you view love, and the way that you like to receive it, and your love language and all that. Those things are things to be communicated. But to say, hey, well, I need you to love me in this way, or I need this from you, or I need this from you, and that person can't give that, or the person don't want to give that, is pretty much talking to a wall, because they just don't have the capacity to give it to you. And so again, it's important to choose people who are on the same page as you, if that makes sense.
It definitely does. And what is the fine line between being generous in a relationship and providing one-sided benefits? And how can you ensure that you're not simply giving without receiving equally from your partner?
Okay, ask me that again. What is the fine line between what?
Being just generous in the relationship and providing benefits, and how can you ensure that you're not just giving without receiving equally from your partner?
Okay, so the way I look at this, right, it's a good question. I just use me for an example. Like, I give everything. And so I don't like measuring. And I do it because, and it's not just romantic relationships, like even with my business or with what I do, like I give everything. And shit, I post between 3 or 4 different pages multiple times a day. Like I give. And it's not that I expect back, but I know that I'm pouring into this. I know I'm going to get back. Because that's what God says. When you pour into something, you get back. Now, so I said that to say, like, even with relationships, I give everything. Like, I give my all. I don't measure it and say, oh, well, I'm going to just give a little bit. Or, I'm going into that relationship giving my whole self. Now, I'm also not going to be in a situation with a woman who's exploitive and not willing to give her whole self. And that's just, you can gauge that based on the type of effort they put into you. Does this person have your best interest at heart? Is this person helping you? Is this person listening and attentive to you? Is this person meeting your needs? Is this person going out of their way to meet your needs? Is this person sacrificing for you? Does this person think about you? Does this person pray for you? You understand what I'm saying? And that's outside of sexual gratification.
But you have a lot of people that's been hurt before. And out of this hurt, they tend to cover themselves or shield their heart in the worst way sometimes in efforts of protecting themselves. And in relationships, they're like, okay, I'll give a limited amount of myself in this situation without giving my all. Like, I'm not going to really say I love you right now because I don't want to be hurt in the long run. Like, what would you say to people that's thinking at this capacity level?
Well, that same person who want to give a quarter still expect all, right? So you have, and you see this a lot today with, and I can say women because I only deal with women, but you see this a lot today where you deal with a woman and she only want to give you a piece of herself, but want the whole protection, provision, and the masculinity, the guidance, the emotional availability, right? But only want to give you a piece. That's the one-sided thing that you were talking about. And what a lot of people don't realize is that's very short-lived. Most people are not going to be okay with that. So if you want, you have to give. So yes, we've all been hurt. Things have happened. There have been people die every day in car accidents. Is that, are you going to stop? Are you going to stop getting in the car to drive? Most of us has been in a car accident at some capacity. Did that stop you from driving? Most of us have been fired from a job. Did that stop you? Most of us have lost money. Not most people in a business, but businesses fail every day. This is my, 7th business that I've started, that I've tried. And this is the first one that has been as successful as it has been. Like, if I was scared if I couldn't push past my fear to operate and live as my true self, then I would be successful doing what I was doing. That's in business or in love. I've been hurt. I've been cheated on before too. And in my 20s, I loved that way. Like, okay, well, I'm only going to give this and I'm not going to be this and I'm not going to be this. But it was only until I pushed past the fear of what's hurt feelings that'll go away eventually. It's only when I push past that and stop operating in fear and living to my fullest potential, which is emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, was I able to start attracting like very good quality people that's willing to be the same with me. And so the key is to, you've been hurt before, but a lot of the times people hold on to it because they can't accept that they were the ones who made the choice to even deal with that person or stay with that person or let emotions get the best of them or made bad decisions. And so they hold on to it. Only when you accept it and look in the mirror and say, okay, I made a bad choice, can you grow from that and move on and operate at the fullest extent that God designed you to operate in. Not half-heartedly. You shouldn't half-heartedly do anything. If you're going to go into a relationship, man or woman, half-assing it, you might as well be by yourself.
But when it comes to attracting your soulmate, what unique qualities or traits do you possess that you believe you will naturally draw these soulmates to you?
I don't really believe in the soulmate thing. I don't believe that there's just like this person that's like in New York City somewhere and I have to just go find her and bring her. I don't really believe in that. But I do believe in order to attract what you want, you have to make yourself a quality, good character person, and you have to make sure that you are not the opposite of that, but what you have complements that. So if a woman wants to attract a man who's strong, that's a protector, that's a provider, she needs to be what that type of man is attracted to. If that was what makes sense. Like if I want a woman who's feminine, sweet, and all of this stuff, right? I have to be what they are attracted to.
We have come to a very short commercial break paid for by our lovely sponsors, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this message.
Have you ever wanted professional advice for your relationship? Do you want to see the different sides to every relationship? Are you ready to take your relationship to the next level? Every relationship isn't always rainbows and sunshine. Most of the time, there are arguments, struggles, and miscommunication that can lead to losing the connection with your partner. Don't make that mistake. Learn from the stories of others and read corresponding relationship advice to help you understand how to respond if you ever find yourself in this position. Make the most out of your relationships and go after the man of your dreams with guidance on the do's and don'ts of every relationship. Discover real-life experiences. There's no better teacher than real life. With true relationship stories, learn from their failures and successes without having to go through the pain yourself. Professional advice. At the end of every story, you'll find relationship advice to help you understand what to do when you're faced with a similar situation. Never feel lost and confused ever again. Securing your relationship. From tips on attracting your soulmate to keeping the relationship fresh and spicy, to ensure that your relationship will stay happy and healthy no matter how much time has passed. Relationship guidelines. Discover the top things to have in common with your partner to ensure a successful long-term relationship. A foolproof and universal guide that always works. Get rid of the confusion and anxiety that comes with uncertainty in relationships and add value to your relationship by implementing the advice and guidance found in this easy-to-follow book. Achieve the relationship of your dreams when you order Find a Man, Keep a Man, professional advice and real-life stories to help you understand your partner. Now available on Amazon, Google Play, and Kindle. Order your copy today.
So women want a guy who's emotionally intelligent. I have to work on my emotions. Women want a guy who can lead. I have to work on leading. Women want a guy who's financially stable. I have to work on getting my finances together. Basically, I have to improve myself to become the best version of myself and the most optimal version of myself every day. And when you start to do this and do it for real, not just play for Instagram and just play, when you start to do it for real and stop living in fear of what happened with your ex, and you stop entertaining the bad people just because they feel good, you'll start to get what people consider your soulmate. And you start to meet people that everything just falls in line. And I'm a living testament of that.
And what limiting beliefs or self-sabotaging behaviors might be blocking people from manifesting this loving and fulfilling relationship? And how can they really overcome that?
I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough. I don't believe that we deserve anything that we don't earn. However, if you have the mentality that you don't deserve or not worth it, then you won't ever get. The key, though, is to overcome that is action and doing. So you make yourself deserving. Again, this goes back to working on yourself and making yourself that person. Making yourself that person, giving yourself that worth, and that's through action and building yourself. I always tell my guys in my programs, like guys that come to me, a lot of guys want like quick fixes. They want like, magic pills. There's no magic pills. Well, what's a mind hack to be more confident? There's no mind hack to be more confident. You have to build confidence by doing things to make yourself feel better about yourself. There's no way around that. And so if you want to feel like you're worth it, if you want to feel like you deserve, you have to put the work in. A lot of people don't want to do that.
And how can a man feel more confident?
The confidence from a man comes from 4 places. What he looks like when he looks in the mirror, his ability to generate resources for himself, his ability to deal with, his ability to be successful with women, and his purpose. The more a man has those 4 things, the more confident you will be. Not to say that you need all 4 to be confident. The more out of those 4 you have, the more confident you will be as a round man. So you may have a guy who's not good with, he's only good with looking good and getting women, and he'll be confident in that arena, but you take him outside of that arena and he'll be a shell of a man. So just basically build upon those 4 pillars. And again, it's what you look like when you see in the, do you like what you see when you look in the mirror? Can you generate resources to at least take care of yourself? Do you have the ability to be likable to the opposite sex? And do you have something that you do in this world that you're proud of? Anything outside of that, if you don't build upon those 4 pillars, there's no confidence. If you look at every man that lacks confidence, he lacks most of those.
For women in relationships, what are some practical strategies or changes in behaviors that can help them keep their man interested and really invested in that relationship for the long run?
Okay, so this is going to be crazy, because I shouldn't be saying this out loud. But you want to make sure your man is invested, and invested where it matters, right? And that's just based on what that man values. Some men don't value their money. Like, you have a lot of rich guys. They don't really value their money. So you making them give you money don't really mean anything, right? It's scary. It's like some psychological shit. I shouldn't be serious. But so you making a man give you money don't really mean nothing. But his time is everything, right? And so where his investment goes, his heart goes. You understand? So it's the key is to keep your man invested into not only you, but into your relationship. And not in a bitchy way, and not like forcefully, but make him want to be there, make him want to invest. Men are going to always follow their investments. Now, once you have a man who's invested in you, he has to get a return on an investment. This is the reciprocal thing that we were talking about earlier. He has to get a return on that investment by way of you providing him value in the way that he finds things valuable. And I'll give you an example. Me, I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur. And so the way a woman would provide me value, me personally, is by helping. Like when I do a YouTube video, doing the timestamps for me. Like these are the things that make me call a woman back. Or let's say if a woman, I spend the night with a woman, if I get up and she helps organize something for me, something that can save me time and that can help my life a little bit easier, these are the women that I would call back. These are the women that I would want to stay with. You understand? When I can be around her and I can recharge and refill myself by way of peace and tranquility and good positive energy and good nurturing energy, so the next day or whenever I have to get back into the world, I'm fulfilled. These are the things that me personally, I would find valuable. And so it's up to the woman to understand what the man that she's after or that she's into finds valuable. and provide him that value in that way. And those are the men that stay. It's not about tricks and doing backflips off the dresser, because you can pay somebody to do that. You can go pay Instagram chick $40 or go to a strip club and pay a chick $40 to sexually excite you. So it's about the things that's intangible that matters, and that's value. And again, every man is different. There isn't too many differences among us, but again, certain things I may find valuable that another man won't find valuable, if that makes sense. So if you want to keep a man, do what I say, do that.
You are dropping some gems today. I must say, for everybody listening, like, definitely gotta tune in. Like, this has been such an amazing discussion, and I really do want to thank you for coming out and just being a part of this podcast episode. It was truly a pleasure to have you. And for all of my listeners out there, if they wanted to find you, how can they find you?
King Dreism, KINGDREISM. That's one of my main pages on Instagram and TikTok. KINGDREISM, all one word, on every social media site, and I will come up. It is male centric, though. I'm pretty sure you have a female audience. It is male centric, so just be mindful of that. My business model revolves around helping men, so I speak to men, for men. So a lot of the things that you may hear may not suit a woman's ears. So that's just be mindful of that. Don't send me no DMs telling me to change how I talk. I should say it this way, because you're not the target, baby. But I'm more than welcome to and open to dealing with women and speaking with women, and even to some extent helping them out behind the scenes, if that makes sense. I also have a podcast called The Captain Saver Bro Show that a lot of women do get value out of, called The Captain Saver Bro Show. That's on Apple and Spotify and YouTube. Just type in The Captain Save a Bro Show, and that's it.
We are coming to the end of the show, and I really hope that you have enjoyed this episode. If you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to share them. And if you have any additional advice, we'd definitely love to hear it over at goaxlala.com. We're always open and appreciative to any of our incredible listeners, and always open to feedback. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button, as you don't want to miss out on any exciting content coming your way. You can download the episodes by clicking on the arrow at the very top of the screen and saving this episode for easily listening. Also, I want to give much love and send big thanks for tuning into No, But Seriously, Let Me Explain. I am your phenomenal host, Lala Davi, and you know I got all the sauce. I'll see you again next week with more content for you. So until then, stay bold, beautiful, and brilliant. Love ya.